What's up, everyone? This is Let's Talk About It with Aaron E, and that's me. And in today's video, I'm going to do a review of some cameras. If you watched my last video, I talked about how I was going to be reviewing some cameras. I was at a retreat, or I'm at a retreat, and basically Canon, Nikon, and Sony, it is a vendor show where they teach us about new products and cameras and better knowledge, give us better knowledge on Canon and Nikon and Sony products. So thoughts on some of the products that they gave us to demo out. And some of these products are unbelievably amazing. And I think for the price point and what they do, and I'm going to get into a little bit of that, and some things I feel like maybe it might not be worth the price, but this could be a controversial aspect. Leave a comment in below on what your thoughts are if you've used these products I'm going to go over. And it's always cool to see comments and talk about these things, and if not, I'm educating you on these products. So I'm going to view all these products from a positive and a negative point of view. Doesn't necessarily mean my negative or positive views may reflect and your thoughts of these. So I want to be able to just kind of talk about Canon and the direction they're going and how their products are. So I'm going to get right into it. So of course, you know that I have the Canon R3. You have seen my, or if you haven't seen my Canon R3 video, check it out. I might do a second video on more nitty gritty of this. If you want to see stuff like that, leave a comment below and let me know, hey, I want to see more about the Canon R3. I've learned a lot more about this camera, even at this training seminar. This is an amazing product. And once again, if you haven't seen the video on my Canon R3, hit the video button and scroll down and see my Canon R3 review and check it out. So this is once again the Canon R3. It's their full frame flagship camera right now. I have been told by Canon that in the future there will be an even better product than this, but for right now, the Canon R3 is one of their better cameras. So I want to talk about some of the products that I got to use this training seminar. So the first thing is I want to be able to talk about is the Canon 70-200 2.8. This is actually a little bit on the larger side, but for a 70-200, it's actually not bad compared to the previous year's model. It extends out like this, which is not bad. Once again, this is it's not bad on weight. But the 70-200 f4 is significantly smaller and lighter, but you are sacrificing the speed. This being a 2.8, I've been able to really see the light difference, especially at nighttime. And when I really want to be able to get quicker, I'm able to see where the 2.8 helps. Once again, from speed being light, the more the f-stop, the 2.8, the lower the number, means you let in more light, which means you can be faster. So at nighttime, if I do step to 2.8, I can let in a lot more light, and therefore I can have less of an ISO, or high ISO. But with this, I'll showcase some photos that I took with this lens. But in my personal opinion, once again, the 2.8 helps for speed. But if you're really focusing on a subject that's a bit far away, or if you're focusing on a tennis player, or you're focusing on a person, quite frankly, to me, that 2.8, the 1.8s, these low f-stop numbers, these not a 1.8 versus an f5 or an f4 or an f11. To me personally, and I know I'll get a bunch of comments, if so, arguing that I'm wrong, and that's fine. So I'm wrong. Or your opinion, you view that it's wrong. I don't view, in my opinion, that I'm wrong. But in a nutshell, with a long zoom lens like this, if you're focusing at a distance from afar, a subject, and you shoot at 2.8 versus f4, that background, if the subject is far away enough, you're not really going to see a crazy stupid difference in the what we call the bokeh effect, the background effect. So for that reason, to me, depending on what you're doing, to me, this being a little bit heavy in its price point, it is I know above the 1500 range. I believe more close to the 2000 range. Don't quote me. I'll have to look up exactly what the price is, and I'll probably maybe leave it in the comments for you. But this is the 2.8 70 to 200. The f4 70 to 200 is once again significantly lighter and smaller. I know that lens is, I believe, once again, don't quote me, but I believe it's almost more than like $800 less. Being said that, I do think the f4 70 to 200 and how small and light it is, I actually think it is worth the money. So, you know, I encourage you to see if you can try both of these lenses and see if it can make a difference for your photography. Other than that, say this is an amazing lens to have. So 70 to 200 2.8 Canon RFL. I forgot to mention that. So it's the 70 to 200 2.8 RFL. Let me bring this close real quick so you can see. So this is the lens. That's what it looks like. And this is how much it extends out. And then you've got, oops, hold on. You've got your full to infinity focus, so that's how quickly it can spot a subject. Your autofocus to manual focus button here. Your stabilization, if you want to turn that on or off completely, because if you're on a tripod and you turn this off, it's kind of overworking itself. And then your stabilization modes on how it works. You can these modes on how it works on its stabilization factor itself, from less shake to more shake to how things are far or close. Also still dealing with your full or to infinity focus. On weight, here's your tripod mount. You can unscrew this to move it around. So this loosens and unlocks, and this can be moved. So this is the 70 to 200 RFL 2.8. It is an amazing lens. Bad, just it's to me it's I feel like the grip could be a little bit bigger, but other than that, it is not too bad. Now if I compare it to the R50, which I'll show, the R50 grip is actually a lot smaller, but I'll go over that in a second. This is a full frame camera, 24 megapixels. I'm trying to multitask here. You can see all the basic button functions on the top of the dial is very kind of like entry level, which is not a bad thing, but it is a professional camera, and the fact that it does have a full frame sensor. So that's actually what the full frame sensor is. The only thing I don't like is the fact that that's not covered, which means it can get dirty a lot easier. Let me turn this off, turn it on again for you. Hold on. Pretty easy. I like how it's very easy to understand. So your aperture priority, your shutter priority, when you put it in these modes, it's telling you what it is, and that's what I like about Canon. Scene mode, creative filters, your programmable. I go the other way. So once again, here's your auto, your shutter priority. I'm sorry, this is your flexible. So this is your Pro True. This is your programmable. This is your shutter priority, and this is your aperture priority. So once again, if you look at my first videos, or one of my first few videos, I talk about what those are. So if you're not sure, play that video, and it's got my full explanation of it. And you've got your manual mode, and then your bulb, and then your customs. Once again, let me focus on this, sorry. Here is the dial. Top red button is your record button on start and stop. Here is your lock. The manual function on here, if you press this button, this actually allows you to do some quick customization, which is cool. Like your, again, like your ISO. I can change the wheel on top, and then I can change my evaluation for my over and under exposure, which is cool. Then I'm going to go over, and then I can use this wheel on the bottom to change the menu on the bottom. And then I'm going to use my guide on top to change what I want on top. So I think that's actually really cool. I'm going to click here. I can go over, and then I press the menu button, and then I can, the MF button again. And then I can go like to what I want to be able to change for like picture styles and things like that. So just by clicking it, and then I can move over, and it's really cool. And then if I want it on the bottom, where I want to change some of like its secondary settings, you can change it on the bottom. So that's actually, in my opinion, really, really cool. The menu layout is pretty simple, just like all of the other Canon cameras. It's just in the higher models you do get more features. So your quick set button, I do like that, where I can go in, I can hit the Q, and then you can change all your features right here. So more of an advanced view approach to this camera, and it is the R8 is kind of the entry-level professional full-frame camera. So small on body size, touchscreen, and a decent grip. This is the R50. It's actually really small. You can see like hand-wise how small it is. It's not a bad thing. It's just, to me personally, the only thing I can say negative about this, I think this grip is a little too small. But is once again a crop sensor. You can see how small the sensor is versus the full frame. But let me turn this off and let me turn it back on again. Other than that, it's not bad. Now this does have a built-in flash, which is not really my favorite, but for, once again, for an entry-level camera, not bad. The R8 actually does not have built-in flash, so this has built-in flash. You've got your mic port, so that I think is crucial for content creators, and this is what this camera is meant for. This camera is really meant for the content creator. It does do photo and of course video, but its photo quality isn't as good as some of the other products, and this is really meant for video. We did a lot of training on this and we used it as a video camera. Now for video quality, I can say in the 4K it's nice, but it is limiting on its speed. I still usually recommend a higher end camera for better performance. But if you want to do 1080 at 30, this camera is unbelievably amazing with the stabilization. So just as good as, actually better than the cell phone that I'm using here. So not bad. Just to me, if you do want a little bit better quality, I would say the R8 is definitely a way to go. The nice thing is here, once again, you've got this still almost the same menu functions, almost the same. Once again, not everything. This still has a little bit less. So your shutter priority, your aperture preferred, the manual, video, creative filters. So you can actually go in and you can actually say black and white. You can do like this fisheye effect. You can do this toy effect, blurred effect, grain, high definition, which is cool, toy effect, miniature effect. So these just kind of change how your style, it's like a fun factor in the style of how the photo can be made. So I think it's pretty cool. So this is your scene mode. This is on most of the cameras, where you can say portrait, you can say group photo, panning, which is cool, panoramic, going left to right. It will stitch a photo for you. You just move the arrow as it moves. Your landscape, which is cool, and kids, up close, tracking a subject like a vehicle, panning, food photography. That's relatively new in the last few years. So all it's doing is adding more vibrance and color to the photo and sharpening for the subject. Other than that, it's not like a true food. You could still use it if you want to just highlight a subject, similar to the close-up on the flower, the macro. Then you have your nighttime handheld, but I do recommend a tripod for this. It's not the best. And then HDR backlighting, where it can change how it works with HDR from your foreground or your background and its lighting. So that's the basics on the scene. And then you have auto hybrid, where you can do movies with your stills, which is really cool. So it's working to be able to do basically a whole bunch of photos together and giving you a movie, and you can go back and forth, and it's really cool. And then basically your auto. So that, once again, a little bit louder, not bad for this R8. 50, it's just a small camera. I'm gonna go back for a second and show you. Sorry. So this in itself automatically looks more professional like the other cameras. When the other ones, when the R50 is laid back, this R8 definitely more professional. But once again, if you look at your creative filters and you look at your scene mode, it is identical, or almost identical on this the R8 versus the R50. Sorry. So way faster, way better video. Definitely a more professional camera, the R8 than the R50. Once again, it's a little bit bigger, way easier to hold and grip, and this is not bad. This is Canon's new vlogging camera. This is really cool. It has dual mics on the top, and this is probably one of the best microphones that I've heard. I still have a lot of tweaking to do, of course, when it comes to audio. There's a lot you have to do when it comes to your videos. So if you ever want through how I do my audio editing on a more in-depth aspect, I know I've kind of briefly gone over it before, but if you want to know more of that, you can always leave a comment below and let me know. But I want to go over this camera. First, I love the size. Very easy, very small, doesn't have a whole lot of buttons on it, and it's great pocket size. This is more for the everyday vlogger, but still what I'm doing is kind of like the everyday vlogger. So I'm going to show you in a second how this works, but I love the ease of use. I love how you have this flip out screen. So if I want to see a selfie, I can talk to myself. Man, I got some sun and I definitely look red. But once again, what's cool is this actually has very crisp detail compared to the cell phone. And that's what makes it nice. If I do use this, I would still record in 1080 30 just because I like the file size. But this can do 4K 30 and it's actually not bad. It can't do 4K 60, but it can do 4K 30, 1080 60 if you wanted. And this can also do 1080 60 in slow motion, which is actually really cool. But I still prefer true 120 slow motion if I'm really doing that. So this camera is really cool. I'm going to kind of show you some of the highlights of it. So it's small, but I love that. I like how it's pocket size. It's really small. These two microphones, like I said on here, are amazing. And I'm going to play a clip of this video at the end. I just did a quick test of it so you can just see. So these two microphones are actually really, really good. I had a very easy time with the editing of the audio, and that's why I really like this camera. You do have a screen on here. Once again, this has a pop-up screen, so you can actually see yourself, which is really cool. I think that's awesome. Trying to see the camera there, but there's your record button, start and stop right on the front, so it's easy, especially if you're doing a selfie. Boom, easy, boom, easy. Hey, what's going on? You know, so I think that's great. If not, you still press it when you're going this way. This still has some pretty simple functions to it. It is touchscreen, which is awesome. Your red button to start and stop record. Your quick button if you want to change your movie settings, your tracking. This does have in-body stabilization. It is not the best. I still honestly recommend a actual physical stabilizer or something with a tripod. But other than that, that's my only fault with this unit, is I don't think the stabilization is as good as other products that are similar to this. Easy to go through as far as the menu goes, and I really like the ease of use. How you can do smooth skin, you can say different movie modes, image stabilization, auto, so I really like how that works. Once again, this is very easy to set up, gives you info. I love how it shows you my mic gain on here, so that's really cool. I like it when you can see that on a product. Your play button, which is easy, of course, there's no memory card in it. And then this is if you want to instantly send all of this data to your phone through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, or through Bluetooth. It's actually really awesome and it works great. And you can set it up how you want the file to transfer, full quality, less quality, to save space, and so forth. Delete button on top, very easy. Your quick button to get through and change modes, as you see, very easy. Your info, once again, it can tell you if the mic's on or off. I do like how you have the color tone, so you can actually change the color, which is cool. It's kind of hard to see, and I apologize. but I think that's really neat. This is just a fun camera. So moving again, this is really cool. I like it. It's pretty cool. Got this here. Alright guys, that review of these cameras. Once again, this pocket camera, this new Canon camera, the PowerShot V10 I think is amazing. Stabilization will be a little bit better, but the sound quality is amazing. The ease of use is amazing. For the everyday vlogger, technically what I'm doing, this is actually not bad. I would say if they can come out with a small, even better, maybe stabilizer attachment, kind of like what I'm using for the phone, then game changer, game over. That would be amazing. So Canon, maybe think about that for this product, or somehow improve the stabilization. Pocket size, great. Once again, this is awesome. So this was the Canon PowerShot V10. Really cool. Sorry, it's like not fresh in my head, so I'm always trying to remember the name. Brand new. So the PowerShot V10 for vloggers, unbelievably amazing. Like the stuff I'm doing. The Canon 70-200 2.8 RF lens, unbelievably amazing. Your opinion, excuse me, if you want the 2.8 or the f4. Once again, price difference, and it's a lot lighter and smaller. That lens. Excuse me. Once again, the R8. This is an amazing camera for entry level to full frame, so a little bit more professional. But actually, it's not bad on the price point. It's not as expensive as some of the other professional to a little bit higher up full frame cameras that Canon offers. Excuse me. That Canon offers, like the R6. I do think that's an amazing camera. So this being the R8, keep in mind, the higher the number, the less quality, the lower the number, the better quality. I have the R3, that's one of the better cameras. The R6 is a good camera. The R8 is a little bit lower in quality. Body stabilization is a little bit different on this camera versus the Canon R3. You do have it built in, but in the R50, you do not. So or to a degree on how it works a little bit different. So once again, for the R8, this is a great camera, more for the beginner, entry-level professional photography. That's what it's designed for. And then this R50, to me, I think this is really not bad on photo, but I think it's really good for that entry-level vlogger that also wants photography and video. Unlike this is really just meant, excuse me, for video. This is meant for video and photo. So really cool camera. And then once again, if you haven't seen my R3 review, check out my R3 review. So guys, hit the like and subscribe down below if you haven't done already. Check out my channel, browse the content, and then I look forward to giving you more content soon. And leave a comment down below if you think there's something else I should review. Sorry, losing my voice. So guys, be safe out there, enjoy your day, and hopefully I'll get some more content out for you soon.